Summer is in full swing and swimming is my favorite thing to do with my dog Mochi. But the thing is, not every dog is going to jump into the water without a little bit of convincing and a little bit of training. On the contrary, most dogs don't just fly into the water on their own whim to have fun from the very start. You have to do a lot of specific steps to get them there. Some dogs will just jump in, especially breeds like Labs or Goldens, like they love swimming. But with a lot of dogs, this isn't the case, but don't worry, there is a way to get them in the water, swimming like a pro and loving every second of it. First and foremost, you want to get your dog a well-fitting, high-quality life jacket. This is mostly for safety, but it's also to teach your dog that they can float on the water. A lot of dogs, when they first see water, even if they do jump in at first, they realize, oh, I can't just like stand in the water, I have to like swim. And when you give them a life jacket, you give them that insurance so that they never have that fearful experience of sinking in, because that could honestly traumatize your dog and really have a hard time going back in the water ever again. Whereas if you have a life jacket from the very start, they'll never have that bad experience to deter them. Once they have their life jacket on, let them explore. Not even necessarily near the water. I would honestly recommend putting the life jacket on, letting them walk around the house or even your yard, just to get them used to wearing the harness the same way they have to get used to wearing a harness when they're a puppy. And then once they're used to that, you could take them to the water and have them explore as they want. Again, some dogs will just walk into the water with that life jacket, swim around, have a great time happily ever after. But a lot of times it's not that way. Once they have their life jacket, you have two things you have to do. The first thing is to lure them into the water with positive reinforcement, like treats, their favorite toy or something. With their life jacket, they should or will eventually go into the water to swim to you to get that treat. However, a lot of the times this is not the case, and that's when you might want to carry them in and essentially kind of force them to get into the water for the first time. This is not exactly what you would call, I guess, force-free dog training, which I really believe in, but this is not something cruel either. You're not doing something negative to your dog. You're just kind of teaching them how to swim. So once they have their life jacket on, you want to go a few feet into the water and slowly put them into the water where their feet can't touch and just let them swim back to shore, which they will do. They're not just going to start swimming in circles the first time. Once they swim back to shore, give them a lot of praise. And this is my point 3, is positive reinforcement. Everything to do with swimming has to be very, very positive, because this is at the end of the day, a leisure activity. It's not like your dog has to go swimming every day for them to stay alive. This is something that you want to do with them to have fun, mentally enrich them, physically exhaust them. Of course, there is that side, you want your dog to be able to swim in case of some emergency where they suddenly have to be able to swim. But like realistically, unless you have a pool in your backyard, your dog could go his whole life without knowing how to swim. So at the end of the day, it's mostly to do with fun, right? So you want to make sure everything is with positive reinforcement, just as with all dog training at the end of the day. So once you put them into the water and they swim back to shore, praise them a ton, give them some treats. If someone's on shore, if you're alone, then go back to shore with them, give them treats, toys if they like toys, and repeat that process a few times. And during this whole process, make sure that you go super baby steps. So even though I said this whole part in like 3 minutes, this will realistically take several sessions. So the first session, you should just let your dog explore the water. The second session, you let them explore, and then you do a little bit of luring into the water. The third session, you do a little bit of luring. Fourth session, more luring. Fifth session is when you want to carry them into the water and let them swim back to shore and stuff like that. Obviously, every dog moves at a different pace. This is just a general guideline. And just to go like 1 minute at a time. If your dog swims for even 1 minute, you should take that as a huge win. Final step is obviously to take off the life jacket. For a slight second, your dog might be like, whoa, why am I not floating once you take off their life jacket? But that's like literally a millisecond. At the end of the day, these dogs have a survival instinct. All dogs, or let's say 99% of dogs, should know how to swim anyway if you were to throw them in the water, which I do not recommend. So don't worry about that. Take off the life jacket, throw a treat or a ball into the water to encourage them to go in, and then watch them swim. At the end of the day, just remember to keep every single experience with swimming super positive. Never like traumatize your dog, even when you're carrying them into the water during those first few sessions to let them swim back to shore. Don't do it if your dog is like absolutely terrified. That's not what we want to do. That's just to kind of give them that extra push, and it's not supposed to be something to make them super scared and to force them to swim like over and over again. That's definitely not the goal. And also just remember that not all dogs will love swimming. My past dog Oreo hated water. He just hated swimming. He never went in past like his mid paws, and that's fine too. Again, like unless you live with a pool in your backyard or you live by a lake and your dog might fall in one day, not all dogs need to know how to swim at the end of the day, so consider it like a fun activity. If your dog loves it after a few times, great, keep doing it. Mochi loves water. We go every weekend now and it's super fun. But if he didn't like water, then it wouldn't be a big deal anyway. We just wouldn't go to the lake with him. Now that your dog knows how to swim, check out this video on how to get a perfect recall with your dog.